Hello, welcome back to the True Crime Guys podcast. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Michael.
How you guys doing? We're back from a couple weeks.
Great, Lauren.
Last week we did the Patreon exclusive episode, 2 hours, 50 minutes on Jonestown, Jim Jones.
Yes, that was a fun one.
It was something that we needed to do, and it was great.
We need to get it off our chests.
We did.
How much we love it.
Yeah.
I guess.
We could have kept going. But
Absolutely.
we're pretty proud of the way that one turned out. People seem to like it. Did a lot of studying for that one. Kind of worn out, so we picked a little bit of a smaller case this week, a little short one. But it's fun. It's a couple of firsts. First Canadian case.
Is it our first Canadian case?
I'm pretty sure.
No, Robert Hansen.
Oh, you're right. No, that was
Butcher
Alaska.
Baker. That was Alaska. Same thing.
Still up there above us. They think they're better than us up there.
Think you're better than us out here?
Getting $1,000 a year to live there. With
Right.
Different vibe, though.
That's true. My bad.
Alaskan people and Canadians a little different.
That's true.
I think.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, they're both fighting bears and shit, whatever they're doing.
It's,
A little rougher living up there, right? It's cold as shit.
They're all freezing, fighting bears.
Right. You can understand why they lose their mind a little bit.
I don't know. I think
Canadians are so damn nice, though.
the U.S. has way more serial killers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Once in a while, though, those nice Canadians up there, they lose their shit.
Every once in a while. I mean, they can only take so much niceness.
They still got problems. They kill you and then they say they're sorry at least. So.
Yeah, go be a dick to somebody today if you're in Canada.
Right.
Save us all. Get it out. Get the frustrations out.
I just think you're so nice up there.
You don't got to stab them to death. Just flip them the bird.
Right.
Go on about your day.
You think that happens at all up there? Anybody's like, do you think when they like, do you think there's any road rage in Canada? It's like honk at each other like, sorry,
you're not more sorry than me, you asshole.
Somebody cuts them off. They're like, you probably got somewhere to be more than me.
Yeah,
That's fine. Go ahead, guy.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're doing New York accents for Canadians.
Yeah.
I can't do a Canadian accent though. Hey, what is it?
Their accents.
Sorry, hey.
It's just
hey, sorry, go ahead. You got to be somewhere more than me. Sorry.
About.
How about you get there in front of me? It's fine.
That's one of the words that really sticks out to me.
My boss won't be mad anyway when I get to work. He'll just say sorry for me being late. Sorry, you must have had a rough morning. Sorry.
There's pancakes and syrup in the break room.
There's some poutine in there waiting for you. Yeah. All right, we've already gotten deep in Canadian jokes.
All right,
let's get into the story.
Yeah, we used them all before the story.
Yeah, so it's done. People, just tune out. If you're looking for comedy, it's over.
It's over.
All right.
Rainbows at my razor's rung, mystery screams and seams undone, sung at the top of punctured lungs. I bite my spiteful tongue, lest curses back from primal layers, freeze romance where angels bear, are lost to love, bloodlust to spare. I weep, they merely stare, and stare, and stare, and stare, and stare.
All right, so this story is a true love story, right?
Yeah.
Gone bad.
A real Romeo and Juliet here.
Yeah, except they killed themselves. These people.
They kind of did in a way.
Yeah, they weren't as destructive.
They killed their futures.
I don't know. Romeo and Juliet that was a true love story. This is more of a true love teenage story. This is like a nightmare.
This is a true angst story.
Nightmare scenario for parents.
It really is.
Yeah, and the story became known on the morning of April 24th, 2006.
Right, in Alberta, Canada.
I graduated from high school like a month after this.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. A young boy, 6 years old, goes to the neighborhood home of his friend, Jacob Richardson. This is the Richardson family. He goes over. He had in a documentary we watched on YouTube, a kind of a cheesy little reenactment. The kid had a soccer ball. I don't know what he had. Maybe he had a yo-yo. I don't know.
He's like, "Hey, Jacob, you want to kick the soccer ball around?"
Oh my God!
Oh my God! What's going on in here?
Yeah. So he sees through the window. He sees carnage inside the home. I believe, I don't know if he looked into the basement window, Some homes have that little window that
Right,
kind of
right.
goes down in the basement. I think that's what he saw.
I would imagine
if
so.
he
Being
did,
6 years old, he probably couldn't.
he
see
had
in
to
the
have,
other
because the only other body would be upstairs. And he wouldn't have been able to see through the window.
That's right.
So he saw through the basement window the bodies of Jacob's parents. There's blood everywhere. It was just a horrific scene inside the home.
Yeah.
At which point he ran home and told his parents, who notified the police. That's how
imagine-
this whole thing kind of.
Could you imagine though if he could have seen in his friend's window? You know, if he could have seen in Jacob's window
seen
and saw
his
his own friend,
8-year-old friend. Yeah, with his.
that would have been rough.
Yeah, we don't want to go too deep into it. No. The victims that he had observed through the window were 42-year-old Deborah Richardson and 48-year-old Mark Richardson. They had met each other. They were both former addicts. I don't know if that's how they kind of hit it off. They had common ground.
Right.
Maybe they met each other at a Alcoholics Anonymous meeting or something. They got married in 1991.
Was it alcohol that they were addicted to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because
No,
they were still, all the way through to the time they were killed, they were still working in the community with Alcohol Anonymous,
Right.
helping people with addictions and, telling their stories of what they've been through. And
That's a true success story for that program.
Yeah.
That's
they worked hard to build a nice upper middle class life for themselves in Canada.
right.
They had 2 children, a girl named Jasmine and a boy named Jacob. They were 4 years apart, Jasmine being the older sister of Jacob. Mark was promoted by the family, and they moved to Medicine Hat, Alberta, Canada, when Jasmine was 10 years old. And that's where they lived up until this horrific event had happened.
Right.
The mother, Deborah, had opened a holistic therapy shop in her home and was kind of like working from home.
Right. So she believed in a lot of natural healings
Yeah.
and what
And
some people might confuse as like witchcraft and things like that even.
Yeah.
Like they were very open-minded people.
Yeah. Well, the daughter Jasmine got into Wicca, right? And
Right.
Was
and
really
people
into,
thought that was strange. Like the documentary made it out like it was Satanism. I'm like, that's not Satanism. Like,
well, maybe it was
this is-
Maybe it was a gateway.
I don't know.
A gateway belief.
I don't think it was as dark as they made it out to be.
Well, when you look at the end result, I guess that's why they drew that conclusion.
Right. But you got to look at it. A lot of people are like, oh, why would you let your daughter get into this? Why would you let your daughter explore this field or whatever? And it's like her mother was a
Wicca
holistic
was kind of
healer.
harmless if you really.
Her mother was a holistic healer.
Yeah.
I mean, why would she have a problem with it?
Right.
Like this is almost following in her path a little bit, and she's thinking like, well, the dress and the
Wicca
eyeliner and the
that needs a better
polish,
name.
that's
Wicca just sounds sketchy. It's just
it's because it sounds like wicked.
sounds witchy.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're going to be making little like stick bodies and stuff and hanging them from trees.
But
like
that's because
Blair
of the
Witch Project
relations.
style.
But these words were already in circulation before we assimilated these things with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, this is someone later adding this.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know, with their now connotations of Wicca.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, like we said, Jasmine developed an interest in Wicca. This is around 12 years old, which is a nature-loving belief system. It's kind of like Mother Nature and was it like Mother Moon and Father or something?
Right,
I
they believe
kind of glanced into it a little bit.
Different gods and
Yeah, but it comes back to nature, right?
Yeah, and it's all about not causing harm and cherishing life and spreading love. All the good things that come from other religions.
Yeah.
It's not what people make it out to be.
But I guess her belief in Wicca was kind of counterintuitive to the Catholic school system that she was attending.
Right. Oh, you can imagine.
She's in that rebellious stage. She's 12 years old. Hormones are kicking in, I'm assuming, and
Right.
and she just wants to find something to make her different. Her friends start to notice her dressing differently.
Right. It's just it's that time period. Like you said, she's experimenting, she's rebelling.
But what I'm saying about a gateway is perhaps Wicca was a gateway into Gothic, which is what she got into next.
Well, maybe. But I think like the Wiccan religion is a little more accepting of other point of views. And so it was a more open platform than the Catholic school, obviously.
Right. So like we said, her friends started noticing her that she'd changed. She started dressing different, wearing the dark clothes and the extreme makeup.
Right.
The
Dark
Gothic
fingernail
look. You guys
polish.
know this.
Yeah.
It's not, you don't see it a whole lot anymore. Well, on our
you don't.
on our Instagram page, you see it a little bit. You tend to like our show if you're teenage Gothic.
Right. That's cool.
Hey, that's cool, man. We're totally accepting. Just don't kill your parents.
Good advice. That's not part of it.
Right. Her friends also noticed that she was hanging out with a group of like-minded individuals who were also into the goth scene.
Right.
She started going to concerts and stuff like that. And I mean, not that all concerts are Gothic, but she started going to. It says that she met this individual that we're about to get into at a punk concert, right?
Right. Yeah.
I don't.
Like a true punk concert, like a rebellious punk, not like Blink-182 concert. You know what I mean? Like this
all
is
the small things.
right. It's not one of those.
Yeah,
This is like real punk, man.
but
Okay?
I would think
dive bar.
I could picture the goth scene. I don't know. I mean, I just don't know much about goth. I picture them more like a death metal, screamo,
It's probably a little of both. You gotta remember
blood
they were
being thrown around.
they were in
like,
middle school. They'll graduate to that,
right?
You know what I mean?
Like you're a little misguided. You guys should be
That's your high school. That's your high
right,
school
not
level.
Pennywise. Like fuck authority.
Yeah, right.
I guess they probably like that message, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Punk had a good message. A lot of anarchy and shit.
Yeah. Now, this time she also joins some chat rooms, one of them being vampirefreaks.com
Oh, haven't we all?
and zorpia.com. My membership, it's still active, I
Is it
think.
still active?
I haven't signed
On
in a few
Vampire
years.
Freaks?
Yeah.
Oh,
I haven't signed in a few years.
man. Check out your profile. We'll post a link.
Right. Blood Fiend, that's my name.
Oh, okay. Blood Fiend.
If you guys find me on there, add me as a friend.
right.
This was in 2005 that she signed up for these, and she was going under the moniker Runaway Devil. At the time, we said she was 12, but she was putting her age on these sites as 15 or 16.
Yeah, nobody really protested that either.
Well, she did
age.
look older than her age for sure. When I saw a picture, I was like, "That girl's 12." Like, obviously just her face, but she definitely had an older, more mature-looking face.
She did. She easily looked 16.
And it's around this time that she attends this punk concert. I'd like to know what band it was, where she meets 23-year-old Jeremy Steinke. I like to call him Stinky.
Okay. Stinky.
He looked stinky to me. He looked like he didn't have great hygiene.
He looked a little unkept.
Yeah, I don't think he showered much.
He didn't have the best childhood.
A little grimy.
Yeah.
Kind of a grimy guy.
Right.
He looks, in the pictures, if you've seen the movie Trainspotting, he looks like the main character played by Ewan McGregor. He looks like him, but like a more goth version. His face is almost identical. It's crazy. Yeah, he looks very strung out.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a druggie.
Was.
This kid was definitely a druggie. He's 23. He's almost twice the age. This is the nightmare of a parent.
Yeah,
your
really
daughter is hitting that teen year where she's starting to rebel, and then she meets this motherfucker. Like the worst case scenario.
Right.
And granted, like you said, he had a bad upbringing, and you can kind of see why he was the way he was.
Right.
But either way, as a parent, this is a nightmare having your daughter meet this guy.
Well, what's crazy is before she met Jeremy, she was dating a guy named Dustin.
Okay.
This is before she got on Vampire Freaks and all that stuff, and he was also in the goth scene, but he was 15.
Yeah.
And she was 12.
A little closer, a little more acceptable.
Well, Devin came over to their house, and the parents just grilled him. They were like, because they didn't like the way he dressed, the way he looked.
They created this monster. She went and found somebody even worse.
That's exactly what she did, I think. She was like, okay, you don't like Devin, huh? You don't like Devin?
Right. Wait till you meet Stinky Jeremy.
Meet Jeremy Stinky.
Oh, no. Yeah, man, it's a fine line you walk as a parent, right? You want to discourage them certain behavior, but you don't want to go too hard because then you can just push them further in that direction. And some parents that are real strict Mormon and stuff, their kids end up rebelling and getting tattoos at 15 and fucking they go down a dark road.
There's a line. There's a certain age that they get. It's not. I don't think it's so much concerned with age as it is their mindset. But once they hit that area, you're better to just be accepting and be there for them and just kind of take it in and guide them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Throw little comments in here and there, it'd be cool if you.
If you're throwing down hard rules every freaking day, I forbid this, you'll never do this, you'll never do that. That's exactly what they're fucking gonna do.
Right.
It's just because you can't watch them all the time.
That whole sacrificing the goat thing's cool, baby. But maybe you should get into volleyball or something.
Maybe start with a squirrel. Okay, that's all I'm saying. There's a lot of them. It's not as big as a commitment.
Right.
Okay, if you can't drink all the blood, no big deal.
Right.
It's a small squirrel.
That your blood drinking is impressive, though.
It is impressive. I mean, I think you could take a mid-sized pig right now.
Yeah.
Honestly, but you're not ready for a goat. Right. Okay. Just calm down.
Yeah, so when the parents obviously meet Jeremy Stinky, when she brings home this 23-year-old fucking creep, they're not immediately in love with the guy. They're not,
No, you think he's almost twice her age?
Yeah, it's just not.
Too much.
The parents ultimately could have immediately gone to the fucking authorities for this. This is 23-year-old dating your 12-year-old daughter. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing the parents must have immediately made it clear to him that she's not. You would think there had to have been this moment where the father said to Jeremy, you realize she's 12, right? That had to have been the first thing, when he sees this guy walk in.
Exactly.
I don't know what age she told you she is, but she's 12.
Right.
And at that point, Jeremy, if he was any man, he should have ran out the fucking door.
Oh, well, yeah,
but he's
that
not.
wasn't going to happen.
He's not a man. So let's talk a little bit about his background.
Well, first off, this guy's not 23 mentally. Okay, let's just establish that.
Yeah.
This guy, he's probably started drug use at a young age due to neglect. He was raised by a single mother who didn't give a fuck, apparently. Yeah. She's kind of a drug addict as well. So
history of depression.
Right. This guy is doing mind-altering drugs at way too young of an age.
Right.
And it's showing right here.
Yeah. By the age of 13, he had been diagnosed with depression and hyperactivity. He at one point tried to hang himself. And by the time that he had met Jasmine, he had been for 10 years now adopted the persona of a 300-year-old werewolf.
Yeah, of course.
That's because that's what you do.
It's the Lycan Brotherhood, bro. You're not part of it.
He had the old vial of blood around his neck. What was his name?
He was kind of confused about what werewolves
Billy
are.
Bob Thornton did this, and Angelina Jolie had Billy Bob Thornton's blood around her neck. You remember that when they were a couple?
Yeah, it's
pretty hot.
Yeah. If I was Billy Bob, I'd be pretty excited about that. I'd be like, damn, she's got my blood around her neck, bro.
Right? That's
like,
love, bro.
I think I got her. I think I got her.
Right.
But this dude, I think he had his vampire and werewolf theology mixed up sometimes because he's obsessed with the blood, and then he also
claims to like the taste of the blood,
and then
that never goes well. None of our cases where someone likes the taste of blood is never a good person.
Never a good person. Like, who likes that? It's all metal.
I mean, what was the name? The vampire Dudesdorf.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Bathory. Peter Curtin. And Elizabeth Bathory. Not good people.
Right. All right. So, anyways, can I finish this real quick?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Sorry.
He mentioned in one of his online profiles that one of the things he hates is the sun. And then there was times
I could see that.
Came
He was
up
a
in
little pale.
the testimony where he was like, "Oh, every time I'd go outside, I had to cover my face, so I didn't see a lot of this."
I think we can get to the bottom of his main issue with depression is if you don't get enough vitamin D, man, you can go into a state of depression for sure.
That's true.
If you wake up and you're just like, I'm just not feeling great today. I'm kind of depressed today.
Listen,
it really does. I'm not trying to tell everybody what to do with their lives, but it's something that can help is to just go outside and get some sun, go for a walk,
barefooted. Ground yourself. Yeah, it's good to walk outside.
That's some hippie stuff, man.
No, seriously, you should ground yourself. Seriously,
go ground yourself.
It's good.
People.
It's good for you. It's good for you.
Go ground yourself.
Walk on warm grass in the sun, barefooted. It's good for you.
You will feel better.
Yeah, you will.
We promise.
Hey, listen, it was cloudy 2 days here. I almost killed myself.
I mean, why do you think Seattle leads the nation in suicide? Seriously,
that's why I like Vegas because sunny 350 something days a year. That's my kind of place. I don't.
Jeremy Stinky, not a big fan of the sun.
No, he would die here. He'd turn into stone. Just fucking whatever werewolves do when they get too much sun. They don't do anything, Jeremy. You fucking idiot.
You gotta
that's
wait
vampires.
for the full moon, idiot.
Well, that's vampires. Werewolves can go out in the sun.
Yeah, man, I'm a werewolf. I just don't like garlic at all.
He's just getting all his shit mixed up. Look at my sparkly fur. Look how fast I can run.
I love silver bullets.
I love silver. Just don't stake me in the heart.
Idiot. So they immediately fall in love after meeting at this concert. She brings him home to her parents, and there's a big blow up, and they're like,
her parents love him. They're like, oh my God, when can we get married?
Yeah. But really, the real true story is that they forbid her from seeing him.
Right.
And there was daily fights about it. And at this point, she starts having these conversations on the internets.
Right. From my understanding, this is where she went into permanent grounding. They were pretty much like, you're grounded until this dude is out of your life, until you forget about him. I think they were just trying to get her to forget about him just through separation.
They forgot about her account on vampirefreaks.com where she can communicate daily, though.
But I think what they're thinking is, okay, these are two young people with
she'll get over
hormones.
It in a week or so.
Yeah, if they're not being physical, they're going to forget about each other.
Yeah. No, dude, that doesn't happen.
That doesn't work.
Yeah, with my wife, here's a quick kind of example. So when I first got with my wife over a decade ago, we were both I was 19, she was 16, and we were into hookah at the time. It was a big thing. We'd go to these hookah lounges and smoke, and we had some pictures of us smoking hookah together. So fucking stupid. Anyways,
calling me a hippie.
Her parents found these pictures of her smoking hookah with me, and it was the same thing. You're not seeing him anymore, and they cut her off from. She was not allowed to contact me. They took her phone. And what did I do? Run out, bought a prepaid cell phone, put some minutes on it, and delivered it to her work where they didn't know I was able to go to. I was not allowed to go see her at work, but I showed up with this prepaid phone, and we continued communicating. And of course, now we're married. So,
boom.
This one ended a little better. This story. I mean, these teenagers, you can't, especially with the help from technology, you can't stop them from communicating and seeing each other.
And then the more boundaries you put on them, the more creative they're going to get.
Right.
And that's exactly what happened.
The more you forbid it, probably the more of a forbidden fruit it's going to be for them.
Yeah.
If they would have just let her keep seeing him and like been accepting of it, she probably would have got bored of his ass.
Yeah, let her purge a little bit.
He doesn't even
on some
understand
blood.
what vampire is. Like, this guy's just misguided.
He doesn't know. Yeah, his theology's all mixed up.
Right. Like, she starts thinking about, like, God, when I'm 30, how old? He's going to be like 50. Just let them stay together for a little while.
That's gotta click eventually.
Right. So this thing turns real dark. So they begin this online correspondence through email where Jasmine sends an email to him saying, I have this plan. It begins with me killing them and ends with me living with you.
Whoa. And you know what his response was?
Do it in his voice.
Well, I love your plan, but we need to get a little more creative with, like, the details and stuff.
Right.
Dude.
I need to close my curtains. The light's coming through.
Right. Let me just turn into a bat and survey the area.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, so this is where the plan was hatched, that they were going to kill their parents. Do you think that she actually thought this was going to happen?
I don't think so.
No?
Not at first. I really don't think she thought that he would take her seriously.
Well, he took it deadly serious. In his journal, 3 days prior to the events, he wrote, their throats I want to slit. They will regret the shit they have done, especially when I see to it that they are gone. They shall pay for their insolence. Finally, there shall be silence. Their blood shall be payment. Very very dark.
Drama queen, am I right? This guy.
You could say that, but he actually made it happen.
Yeah, that's true. I was just trying to lighten it up a little bit.
Right. Now, leading up to the
McDarkerson over here.
Right. Now, on April 22nd, 2006, the night before this plan was about to be hatched, Jasmine and Stinky watched their favorite film, Natural Born Killers, where couple Mickey and Mallory blaze a homicidal trail across America, beginning with the members of their family.
Right.
So they killed her family and then took off, and so this is their idea of the future, I guess. I want to see this damn movie. I love Woody Harrelson too. I've never seen it.
I don't see the comparison though.
No. He would later say to an interrogating detective, "You ever see Natural Born Killers? I think it's the greatest love story of all time." This is another thing that young, undeveloped brains do. Is they just they take a movie and they just make it into reality. Like, oh,
because they relate.
I should
to
totally
it so
do
much.
this. I should totally do this. Like,
just because it fits their situation, it's like, this was made for me.
Yeah.
And then you're already
we're lovers. The world's against us.
Yeah, you're already in that mindset. The world.
We've known each other for
you.
a week. You know, we're so in love. It's like
right.
You don't even know her yet. You even know her favorite color or anything.
Right. It's probably black though.
Oh, for sure.
Fair get. Yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah.
His too.
Yeah, probably.
Hates the sun.
We got so much in common. We got no melanin.
So the laughing matter ends on April 23rd, 2006, when Jeremy Stinky, fueled by booze, ecstasy, cocaine, and pot, disguised by a mask and brandishing a large knife, broke into the basement of the Richardsons, where he met Deborah, who was down in the basement, and instantly began stabbing her multiple times in the abdomen.
God.
Now she's screaming as she's dying down in the basement, which
alerts her husband.
Alerts the husband, Mark, who runs down to aid his wife. And there was a big struggle that ensued. Mark was a tough guy, 48-year-old guy, and he put up a big fight against this kid.
He did, especially to be unarmed. I think he ended up grabbing a screwdriver or something.
Yeah.
But that was after he was already down there.
He ends up stabbing Jeremy in the eye at one point.
Or at least bruising it somehow.
Yeah. Ultimately, he would end up losing his life after being stabbed 24 times, including 9 deep wounds to the back.
God.
Just brutal. Like, this kid.
He was.
That's like you could call the bluff of some people that like act like this gothic dark kid walking down the street. You just don't know. He might actually be fucking hardcore.
Right. But a lot of them aren't really that violent.
All it takes
They're
is
not
one
driven
man.
by that violence.
Right.
Really.
But
They're
all
really
it takes
not.
is one, like we saw in like the Shonda Shearer case. There's always that one person that means it when they say something, you know?
Yeah.
You know, they may have a group of people that are like, she's full of shit. No. Sometimes you got to take people for their word when they say they're going to commit acts of violence. You kind of have to.
Yeah, sometimes you don't want to call certain people's bluff, man. You just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You're right.
This part is really actually quite sad. With his last dying breaths, the father asked Stinky why he was doing this, which came with a chilling response. It's what your daughter wanted.
God,
At this time, you got to think that he was wearing a mask with a knife and everything, and you got to think both parents probably just thought this was some kind of a violent break-in,
right,
and they didn't even realize that it was their daughter's boyfriend that was doing this.
right.
And so you can picture a scenario in which his dad hears that, and it clicks in his head. Oh my God, this is her boyfriend.
It's the last thing that he heard.
And my daughter wanted this to happen. You raise your daughter the best you can. They seem like they were from everything we heard. It seemed like they were good parents that wanted the best for their
open-minded
kids.
parents, supportive.
Yeah,
that's rough, man. Sometimes it's just not enough.
yeah. Meanwhile, upstairs, Jasmine was in the bedroom of her 8-year-old brother Jacob. There's conflicting. Like you read different articles, and there's different stories as to what happened here. Some articles claim that she was more than happy to kill her brother and got off on it and started stabbing him and slit his throat and stuff. And then there's other articles that say that she was trying to get him to go back to bed. And then that's when Jeremy came upstairs all bloody from killing her parents.
I heard a really good
and said that he has to die. What's the theory?
This was actually from the book Runaway Devil.
Okay.
And I didn't read the entire book. I read some excerpts and things like that. But in the book it said that she was actually choking him, but she wasn't strong enough to make him unconscious, but while choking him, trying to get him to go to sleep because she wanted him to at least appear dead when Jeremy came into the room.
Yeah.
So in a way, she said that she was kind of trying to save him, but she didn't want him to know where she was going or anything like that either.
Right.
And then when Jeremy came up, he hands her the knife and he's like, he's got to go,
Yeah. At which point he was then stabbed in the chest.
Right.
And he had his throat slit from ear to ear.
Supposedly that was Jeremy that finished that.
Yeah.
It did that because he was screaming at her to slit his throat.
Yeah.
And then she just, she tried to stab him. And I mean, you can imagine that. I mean,
she also later said that she did this because she didn't think it was fair for him to grow up and live the rest of his life without parents. So,
right.
I don't know, man.
She was just a self-centered kid at this time, man. That's just all it is. She was just driven by her own desires and couldn't see past anyone else and thought everyone in the world was out to get her. Like we said, I don't think she was trying to do anything good for any member of her family. I really don't.
Yeah, she later admitted to police that she hoped that this would bring. She was so in love that they were so in love, and that she thought this would bring them closer together. So it was all about this fucking douchebag that she just met.
Yep.
And she killed her family over this guy. That's unbelievable, man.
Yes, it is.
That's just like crazy hormones, man.
It's scary. It's scary.
It's absolutely scary. And what's crazy, I was thinking about this because it seems like on both ends, they felt like this had to happen or else they were going to lose the other one.
Yeah.
Like you hear Jeremy's take on it, and he's like, I thought that if I didn't kill her family that she wasn't going to be with me anymore, that she was going to leave me.
Right.
And you listen to her side, she felt that she had to do this for Jeremy.
Well, because she wasn't even able to see him for a long time.
Right. So they were both so worried about losing each other that they killed her parents. They thought that was the only way.
Yep. Like, you never thought about running away? Like, what the fuck? Like, just
right
at the very most.
Run away for a couple of weeks until you realize that you don't like this guy.
Right. Try running away. Why do you have to kill your parents?
Right.
Like, I just don't get it.
Because they watch Natural Born Killers, man.
That's the twisted thing that really gets to me, is the fact that she went straight there. She just skipped everything else. She didn't try sneaking out at night like a normal kid would try to do,
Right.
Like, just go be with them then if you want to be with them that bad, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But to try to have such a permanent solution is strange.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like he was very influential in the decision making.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's the adult here.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you can say, maybe he had the mind of whatever, but physically, he was 20. Was he 23 years old?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She's 12. She's 12. She's literally a child.
Yep.
A child.
Yep.
I mean, she was into some adult shit, no doubt.
Right.
But yeah, this is on him more than anything.
Right.
He's the one who snuck in to the basement and stabbed her parents. And then it's debatable upstairs with her younger brother whether she played a part in that or not, but he was definitely there. His throat was slit, you know.
And ultimately, neither one of them confessed to that murder.
Right. Neither of them took credit for the child.
No.
Jeremy would end up taking credit for the parents.
Right.
They had a getaway driver named Casey Lancaster. You got to think this is probably one of her goth friends, one of their.
Mm-hmm. Like in their group, in their small clique, right? Yeah.
They would run off, and they would end up being 80 miles away. There was when the neighborhood boy came over and witnessed the bodies the next morning. The police would be alerted, and Inspector Brent Secondiak would be the first responder to the scene. And he said that he initially believed the reports that it was some shit that went down. And when he went up and looked through the window, he immediately called for backup. When they searched the house, they saw a picture of the family and realized that there was a young girl who was part of this family, and they immediately assumed that there was a break-in, that she had been abducted, that the family was killed, and that the 12-year-old girl was taken.
Right.
You would think that makes sense. That's why
yeah, absolutely.
It's not going to immediately there's no way you're going to think this 12-year-old girl killed her family.
No way.
Yeah, so a Amber Alert was actually put out. But when they looked a little further in it, they looked in her room and they found some suspicious drawings of like the house on fire and like weird stuff written on there, like unimaginable pain and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was like a stick drawing. It was like a house with 3 little stick figures, and it was on fire. And then there were 2 other figures like standing off to the side, and they were laughing.
Yeah.
And then over on the far right side of the picture, it was a truck, and it said Jeremy's truck.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
God, she is 12.
Yeah, she pretty much just drew out the whole plan minus the fire.
Right.
I mean, pretty much. I guess that was part of the plan, and they
that
just
would make
bailed
sense.
on that.
That would make sense because there's way too much evidence in there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, but then there's always going to be that thing like, where did the daughter go? You know.
Yeah. Maybe they were there, and Jeremy was like, "Did you bring the drawing? The plan? Did you bring the plan?" "No, I left it in my locker." "Fuck! Now I can't even remember the fucking last step, Jasmine."
Right.
Let's just get in the truck and fucking go.
Yeah. I was going to leave Matchbox cars down in the basement for your dad to slip on.
Right.
It's very Home Alone-esque.
Yeah.
The Amber Alert was put out, and the investigation into Jasmine, after finding the drawing, went a little deeper. They started going through her room, and they went to her locker at school, where they found some very incriminating stuff.
Right. It's where the drawing was found, of course.
The drawing, yeah. But when they really started suspecting that she had a big role in this was when they looked at her online profiles and saw the emails, the messages back and forth between her and Vampire Boy.
That's right. Yeah, all that was documented.
Yeah.
Good old 2006.
We have a quote from Inspector Brent Secondiak of the Madison Hat Police Services. He recalls, "I truly believe that this person was missing and possibly abducted. It wasn't even in the realm of possibility that she was an accused." And obviously that was his first instincts when he went into the house and saw the picture and saw that she was missing.
Right.
Until they found the messages and the drawings. With the help from the Amber Alert, officers picked up the couple the following day in Leader, Saskatchewan, about 80 miles away. They'd been seen laughing and cuddling before being arrested.
Oh, how sweet.
Another quote after the arrest from Secondiak, they call him a chief inspector. Just like, I guess that's what they call like lead investigators or like detectives up in Canada, maybe.
Sounds like someone in contracting.
Yeah, like I'm going to pull a permit and arrest you for murder.
Right. I'm going to notify.
It's a load-bearing wall over here. Yeah. Did you commit murder?
Is this sheetrock got asbestos? Scrape it all off.
All right. He says, "It was a huge shocker that she had any part of that because it was so horrific. I couldn't imagine someone so young doing something so horrific."
Yeah.
So they were both arrested along with Casey Lancaster, the getaway driver. Lancaster had acted as the driver, and she ended up getting sentenced to 1 year house arrest, so she got off light.
What a slap on the wrist.
Yeah. Now, Jasmine and Jeremy would both end up entering pleas of not guilty, even though that Jeremy had cracked under questioning. He admitted to killing her parents, Jasmine's parents.
I mean, there was overwhelming evidence against him
at
the crime. It was kind of difficult, but yeah, I was kind of surprised when I read that part. It was like the non-guilty plea. I was like, seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe insanity, maybe, something like that. Psychological disorder.
Yeah. Jeremy would end up getting sentenced to 3 life sentences and will be eligible for parole after serving 25 years. Now, Jasmine also entered a plea of not guilty, and in 2007, a jury convicted her of 3 counts of first-degree murder and sentenced her to the maximum penalty allowable for a child of 12 years of age, 10 years, 4 of which would be in psychiatric hospital and 4 under supervised probation. So she's very lucky that her age was only 12.
Yeah, she was.
Because they're much more lax in Canada on children committing crimes, and they can't put out their name.
Right, and they also started her 10 years when the investigation started, or when the trial started. Mm-hmm. So actually, like once they finally had
it was like retroactive.
Ruling, it was like 18 months already knocked off her sentence.
Yeah. She got a very light sentence
she
for what
did.
she committed for killing her family.
Yeah.
Being a part of killing her family. And with that, she became the youngest person convicted for a triple homicide in Canadian history.
Wow.
She later admitted she'd hoped that would bring her and her boyfriend closer together, as we mentioned. Almost immediately behind bars, Jasmine and Jeremy wrote to one another, and in one exchange, Jeremy proposed marriage, and Jasmine accepted. So they got married, at least in principle, through prison.
Right. In theory.
Yeah, in theory.
But yeah, the cops were allowing this too because it also gave them more insight into the case, into the investigation, and they were like, "Yeah, sure, you can write one another." And then they were reading all their notes and getting even more evidence. Between the two. So
she also bragged about how the massacre had turned them into legends and how they would be immortal. She later set up this correspondence because later, obviously, the police are going to question her, like as far as her rehabilitation and why they should let her go. They're going to ask her about like this stuff that when she first got locked up, she's still writing like she's proud of it.
Right.
To the guy who helped her do it. And so when she was later asked about that, she said that that's our 5 minutes of fame. Immortality means people will remember you.
They were huge, especially Jeremy. Like he had a huge presence in the goth scene, like locally. Like there were all sorts of like people in their clique, you know, waiting outside of the courtrooms and stuff, rallying for him.
Well, his name was officially put out there, so people knew he had done it. But she was known to the public. In Canada, they have laws to protect children who commit crimes. So she was known through the media as JR. They wouldn't put out her real name.
But her name is out there now, so
Jasmine.
that's why,
but I think in Canada, it's still when they have articles and stuff, it still says JR. But in the U.S., we don't give a shit. We'll say your name.
We'll say.
So any Canadians, now you know.
You're going up to that shit over here.
While serving her time, she apparently came to understand and regret the horror of her crime and took well to rehabilitation efforts. In 2011, she commenced classes at Mount Royal University in Calgary, and in which part, 2016, at age 23, the age that her scumbag boyfriend helped her kill the family, she's finally his age when he was then, received parole and was released.
You know what's crazy is I think about this and I'm like, man, missing 10 years of your life. But did she really? Because look where she was at age 22, 23.
Know, right?
She's
in
in
the best
college.
thing that could have happened
She's
to her.
in college just like everybody else.
Her family being murdered.
Yeah, she got an education. She probably got a better education, honestly. She had access to all sorts of resources and shit being in there. Like, it was the best thing she could have done through those formative years. Yeah. So she's actually probably ahead of the normal 22, 23-year-old. And released in society with a clean slate, clean record. This was not on her record
Went back to
anymore.
the town. Oh, it's kind of surprising me that she chooses to live in Medicine Hat still. Medicine Hat. Hell of a name for a town, by the
Medicine Hat, yeah. How do you think that came about?
I have no idea.
I was trying to think of a theory, but I couldn't think of any good ones.
Old Medicine Hat over there. I don't know. That's a fucking strange name. We'd have to look it up. She lives in a secret location, still known as JR in the media. And if you talk to people that live in the area in that town, it's very conflicting opinions on her. Some will never forgive her for what she had done and say they wish that she didn't live in their community. Right. Others believe that she's been rehabilitated. You know, I mean, it's hard to argue because she was 12. Like we said, your brain is like your cerebral cortex, like your brain is fully not developed until you're in your like mid 20s. Right? They say like 25 is when your brain is finally fully developed.
Right. When
you're 12, it's still so rudimentary. Like
your world is so small. Your world is so
you're just
small
so emotional, and like we said, like hormones are kicking in at that age. And she was seducted by this older man, guy twice her age, right? And it just seemed like it was so intoxicating for her that she would do anything. She didn't want to lose this cool older guy in her mind.
Absolutely. Now, imagine what it did for her and her clique, though. Like if all these other girls liked him, and they're like, she's with this guy that's so much older, like. You know what I mean? Like, it also raised up her persona at school and made her kind of a badass, too.
Oh, that she was dating this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's getting a lot out of this relationship as well. Right. Just being associated with Jeremy.
Right. If she remains out of trouble until 2020, the murders will be completely expunged from her record, and she'll have a clean record. Kind of crazy. Yeah. I think it should probably be an asterisk on her. I think, when she goes to get jobs, I think it should kind of be mentioned. Yeah, she killed her family back in the day. Yeah. She's better now, but...
P.S. She killed her family when she was 12.
You might want to look over your shoulder a little bit.
Right, yeah.
If she starts hanging out with a guy, with a fucking blood thing around his neck, you probably keep a close eye on him.
Right. She starts hanging out
I don't
with a
think
werewolf.
that should be
that's afraid of the
completely
sun.
expunged. I believe in rehabilitation for someone that young that committed an act like that. Sure.
Okay, but check
Depending
this
on
out.
in her circumstances, like it depends on the circumstances.
Without
We've
it
had
be-
some cases where young people did shit. I'm like, I don't know about that one.
Right. Well, without it being expunged, does she even have a future? No.
You're saying that
She'll never get a
if
job.
it's out there that she won't get a job.
She'll never get a job. She'll never be able to make it.
Yeah, I guess.
Killing your own family? Come on, dude. If that's not expunged,
But I think
might
from
as
a
well
criminal
not-
standpoint, the police should keep it in their records. Like if she does something else, they should know. Past 2020, because it's
Yeah.
saying like completely expunged. Let's say 2021, she's involved in a home break-in or
Oh, well,
something.
that shit's
like,
out there somewhere. It's out there. I mean,
right.
it's.
Oh, we heard of you.
We have it. Yeah.
We heard of you.
Yeah, they have it. It's on file, but it's just not public knowledge.
Right.
So,
What was it? Runaway Devil. We heard of you, Runaway Devil.
runaway devil. Hey, I got the name origin of Medicine Hat. If you want to know it.
Okay, let's hear.
The name Medicine Hat is the English translation of Samus, the Blackfoot word for the eagle tail feather headdress worn by medicine men, or a medicine hat.
Oh, so I wonder if it had like Native American roots or
Yeah, it's Native American roots.
Well,
but
Native
then
Canadian roots?
Then we went in there and just white peopled it. We're like, medicine hat.
yeah, that'll work.
Samus, no.
Yeah. One more quote from Inspector Secondiak. He said, "At one point, I wanted her locked up forever. I don't think I'm there now. I hope she moves on and becomes a productive member of society. I don't think she's truly evil. I've met some of those people that are bad to the bone, and she's not one of them."
I believe that.
I'm assuming he believes the opposite of Jeremy Stinky.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of those that's,
Well, yeah, he was already.
I don't think he can
Yeah.
be fixed, man.
No.
And it's probably large in part to his upbringing, due to his upbringing, not having a father figure, and then having
Right.
a mother who was inconsistent, and then he was also bullied at school. I've heard.
Yeah, out of touch with reality.
Yeah.
Doing heavy mind-altering drugs at young ages.
I think you're right. I think at
him
a
up.
young age he started doing stuff
Yeah.
that was clearly bad,
yeah.
but no one stopped him. No one was there to guide him in
Right.
a better direction.
Yep.
And so that behavior was like affirmed constantly. Like, yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm doing the right thing.
That's absolutely.
Wearing blood around my neck's cool. Like
You're right.
trying to bang 12-year-old girls. Is
Like we
awesome.
said before, like with the internet, you can find backing for anything you believe in, and when you see you have that big of a support system out there, it's it encourages people.
Yeah.
People don't. He acted alone, yes,
Mm-hmm.
but what got him here was a support group, of fans, if you will, or people that looked up to him and thought that this was a cool lifestyle or something that they aspire to be.
Yeah.
It's just it's a weird concoction with humans
Yeah.
when you get to that point.
It's scary as fuck as
is.
as a parent. Like, you're just like, God, I hope you just hope that like you do everything you can, but ultimately sometimes your kids, the worst influence comes into their life and they just get
Yeah.
seductively just taken by it, consumed by whatever thing they think is the shit at the time. And you just hope you can kind of like guide them in a better direction, I
Yeah.
guess. I don't know.
You try
I've got
to
many years before I have to worry about it, thank God, but you're getting close.
Yeah. Yeah. You just got to try to set the example, man.
Right.
And you got to trust them. You got to, you got to show them love. You got to show them forgiveness and like how to talk to people, being kind to people, treat people with respect.
And how to be weary of bullshit.
Yeah.
Kind of give them that filter where they can like, oh, this guy's full of it.
You got to be honest with them.
Yeah.
You got to be honest
Like
with
that guy
them.
right there, he's full of shit.
Yeah.
In a sense, like kind of
Yeah.
in a little less brash way.
The old guy walking around by himself at the park, don't go near that guy.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't care if he has candy.
I don't care what he has.
I don't care if he's got a cool van.
Yeah, don't talk to him.
All right. Well, that's it. So shout out to all of our Canadian peeps. We hope you guys liked it. I'm sure you guys have already heard about this one up there.
Yeah.
I don't know what province you're in. There's all these different, like apparently each part of Canada is completely different. The people there are different, like Calgary.
Right.
There's the French Canadian part.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like that with the U.S. too. If you think about it. There's some
Not
big-
as extreme though, I don't think.
No. Okay.
I don't think so. Like Saskatchewan and like I don't know all the different provinces in Canada, but I
Right,
feel like
right.
it's like different wherever you go. Like up above our Pacific Northwest is completely
Right.
different than up above New York.
Yeah, that's true.
Completely, because you think how big it is. Man.
I feel like
It's
every
huge.
time I look into Canada, I learn something new.
Oh, for sure.
There's
I don't know shit about Canada.
There's a country artist named Coulter Wall.
Uh-huh.
The dude is like, I think he's like 22 now, but when he sings, dude, he sounds like he's been through some shit.
Really?
Like very good, like folk country artist, and he's from Saskatchewan. Like, there's like this cowboy country like culture there
Yeah.
that I never knew about, and I started like digging into him, and he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Check him out.
It's like Montreal, I think, is more French. I think, and then
yeah.
And I think
so.
Saskatchewan,
Sounds
I think
like
a lot
it,
of people
right?
work like in oil fields up there or something. There's a lot, like a big population
That's
of
what I'm
people
saying.
that just work, they all work in the oil fields.
There's a
and
blue
stuff.
collar
for sure.
country life.
I would love to
up
visit
there.
Canada. It sounds awesome,
It does.
honestly. And I like that they don't just let anybody willy-nilly, like criminals, like they're like, fuck you, you're not coming in. Get a DUI, fuck off.
Right. Third jaywalking strike. See ya, pal.
Yeah. You're not good enough for our country.
We'll hang out in the Northeast.
But then there's also something beautiful about America that we let everybody into, melting pot. That's where country of immigrants. I like that vibe too, but I'd like to visit Canada.
Yeah, absolutely. Wait a minute. Canada is more accepting of immigrants than we are.
Let's not go down this road.
All right. Fair enough.
It's these kids. There's nothing we can say
Fair
that's going to be good.
No.
I'm just saying, like, if you have a criminal history, you're not getting into Canada. You know what I mean? Period.
Okay.
Like, even down to, I know for a fact, like, if you had a DUI within a certain amount of time, you're not allowed in there.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that there's so many Canadian true crime podcasts. I feel like
What's going on up there? Somebody got
not-
run over by a moose or something?
I don't know. I feel like there's not enough crime. Like some guy drink himself to death with maple syrup.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We love stereotypes in this podcast.
Somebody get hit in the head with a hockey puck.
I'm sure some people have been slashed to death with hockey sticks, for
Yeah.
sure.
Right. Yeah, maybe.
I've become quite the hockey fan,
Or hockey
man.
skates.
Since hockey moved to Vegas, Canadians,
Yeah.
I'm on your fucking hockey tip now.
That's right.
I've got the hockey app on my Xbox, and I just watch whatever games are on now. I love it.
Yeah,
It's fucking fun. That sport's the shit.
it is.
It's
I
honestly
feel like I've missed out on
I'm
it for so
starting
many
to like
years.
this. I was a big football fan for my whole life, and the
Yeah.
scale's starting to tip. I'm like, I kind of like
kinda like hockey.
Hockey's catching up to football, man. There's less bullshit. It's just action.
Right,
Less
it is.
commercials. It's just pure action.
It is.
Go Knights, go.
Go Knights.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've turned me into a hockey fan as well.
All right. So short and sweet Canadian episode this week. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
That's right. We think we gave them all the important stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Gave them the bulk of the story. It was a very interesting case.
Fun
It really
little quick
is.
hitter about another kid killer.
Right.
And
Man, we're making a habit out of this. I thought we didn't like kid killers.
Surrey, it was short, guys, up there in Canada.
Sorry.
That was a pretty good at Canada. Hey, up
That's
there in
not bad.
Canada. Hey, you guys, how you doing up there?
Yeah, they probably don't like it.
Surrey.
Sorry.
Let's do some shout outs. Thank you guys for all of the love you show us on social media. We're on Twitter at True Crime Guys, on Instagram at True Crime Guys. We have a Facebook page that you
Right.
can go hit like on. You can, communicate to us on there. We have a closed Facebook group run by Michelle K.
Right.
And if you submit a request to be a part of that, she'll let you in, I think.
Yeah, you
Maybe.
can get on there and complain about the show with other people that are annoyed with us.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
We check in on it from time to time.
Right.
But if you have a question for like us specifically, message on the Facebook, please.
Yeah.
On the official page.
Or tweet us.
So I notice sometimes
Instagram
people post
Messenger.
stuff and they'll ask questions or something on there, and if I reply on there, it's my personal profile, which I don't necessarily want out. So
Right.
that's why I don't respond to things on there. So just message me on the regular Facebook page, or you can message us on Instagram or Twitter or email at truecrimeguys@gmail.com or whatever.
Right on. Also, big shout out to Brooke Lively and Mama Llama for their sticker donations. You can go to truecrimeguys.com, click on stickers at the top.
Right.
That gives you a link to our PayPal. You donate a few bucks, and we'll send you some stickers.
Right.
And a custom note.
Right. And thank you all to all the new patrons as well.
Yes.
If you signed up before January 10th, your sticker is on the way with some extra goodies for the delay. I apologize. I'm going to stay caught up. So if you haven't done that, patreon.com/truecrimeguys.
Yeah.
You can check us out on there, $2 a month. You can get access to all of we have 9 episodes on there right now.
Yeah. Big
So,
10 coming up.
Big 10
We got to
coming
figure
up.
out what we're going to do.
That's right.
It's going to be awesome.
It's got to be special.
Epic. It will be epic.
Right. Especially since it's going to be our last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't say anything. Just lead them on.
Yep.
Big shout out to the people that leave iTunes reviews. We're going to
huge
give you a
shout
shout.
We had 4 new ones.
Zoruda Heim. You guys kill me, no pun intended. 5 stars, thank you. Ztrav1, big shout, thank you. Said
Right.
funny and great relationship between the hosts. I don't like that guy at all.
Yeah, we fake it really well. Jesse J12 says can't get enough, and Marink. Interesting cases, perfect pacing, good banner. I don't know about all that, but we'll keep up what we're doing.
Yeah, so those are people that reviewed, but a bunch of people went and just clicked 5 stars and gave us ratings, so that's helping a lot.
That's crucial.
On iTunes charts and
Absolutely.
stuff. So thank you. If you don't want to write a review, we get it. Just but if you love the show,
Yeah.
go click 5 stars, please. That'll help us out. And then on Stitcher, we neglect the people that rate us on Stitcher here and there.
Right.
So we've got a few to catch up on. Elise L. Stephosaurus Rex gave us 5 stars on Stitcher. Thank you.
Cool.
And Atlanta Annie left us a review on there as well. So thank you guys that, if you choose Stitcher, you can rate it and review on there too. And we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Any app that you use, there's probably a way that you can rate us or
Right,
whatever.
it helps out. Sharing the show in any way, tagging us, whatever. Right. It really helps spread the word about the show. We appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, also talking about spreading the word. Someone named Kat Zink has a website called katzink.com. She put us in an article called "Great Podcasts You Should Be Listening To." We were like the 3rd one on there,
right?
Along with a bunch of freaking phenomenal podcasts. Yeah, like True Crime Garage and Sword and Scale and all this shit.
And we're honored to be on that list for sure.
Right. So yeah, thank you for taking the time to put us in your article and spreading the word.
Absolutely,
much appreciated.
We like being a part of it.
Yeah.
We've been on we've had probably one other one.
Yeah,
we get left out of a lot of lists.
Most of these fucking lists forget us.
Yeah, we get left out of a lot of lists. We're not good at networking like other podcasts are. I don't think.
Yeah, we're not ass kisses.
We're not. We don't like social media. That's the thing. Like if it wasn't for you guys and connecting with people on the podcast, I would drop all my social media accounts.
Oh, for sure.
Drop them all.
Me too. Sometimes it wears me down.
Yeah.
But we love you guys. Thank you.
We do love you guys. That's the only reason I stay on there.
And big shout out to some of our fellow podcasters that we enjoy, like Once Upon a Crime, Esther over there.
Yep. Thank you, Esther, for your support.
Dark Topic.
Yep. Jack Luna and Leroy over there.
Yep. I've been just absolutely freaking out listening to Last Podcast on the Left like crazy. I think that show's phenomenal.
It is phenomenal.
I mean, it's dark humor.
Yeah.
But dude, that show is the best.
It's what we aspire to be.
It is. I mean, they're not going to hear this. They don't care, but
no, they don't give a shit.
Big fans over here. Obviously, Bill Burr too.
Right. Leroy was shouting out at Bill Burr, trying to get a hold of him on Twitter for us.
He don't care.
That would be so awesome, though.
Right, but he don't care. Awesome. He ain't got time to listen to our
This is what we need to do. We need to write this crazy email into Bill Burr to try to get featured on his question segment.
There you go.
And then at the end, we'll plug our...
fuck yourself and listen to True Crime Guys.
You know how terrible he is at reading out loud? Before we know it, he'll already have shouted us out.
No, but it gets proofread by a guy before it even gets sent to him, I think.
God,
He's got a middleman. He's got a middleman, so you got to bypass that somehow.
So we gotta code it somehow weird to get it past that guy.
Right.
If Bill Burr shouted out our podcast, it would be amazing.
Right. We should pay him for advertising. He could do a funny advertisement about our show and how much we suck.
Talk a bunch of shit about us.
Oh my God.
That would
I'd
be
pay
magical.
like $1,000 to have him read a fucking review of our show.
That would be great. We could do a segment where Bill Burr reads our negative reviews.
I agree with all this. So yeah, that's it. See you guys on the next episode. We don't know what we're doing yet, but we'll figure it out.
Oh, you want to talk about the new pacing, the new pacing of our podcast?
We think we might just do one or two less a month and just try to focus on cases that we're super passionate about that have big books to them.
Right.
Much like Jose Vagoa.
Yeah.
Much like Jonestown. Like ones
Silk
where
Road, that kind
Silk
of thing.
Road.
More involved.
Yeah, more involved. Less quick hitters.
So here's what we're thinking before you freak out. We want the podcast to continue to grow and to continue to get better. We want our episodes to continue to get better.
We don't want to just put out episodes every week because we feel like we have to.
Right. We feel like we're being rushed right now, and our time is
gotta
being
meet the
cut
deadline.
short. Right. We're worried more about releasing an episode every week than we are about putting out really good quality podcasts that we're truly capable
It's
of.
supposed to be fun above all else. That's why we did the way we started to do this, and it has been fun. But there are times where it's more of a grind.
Yeah.
But what we've noticed is that our episodes, we enjoy them more, and I think the final result of the episode is better when it's something that we're really passionate about.
Agreed.
And sometimes we pick cases that we're not that passionate about just to get an episode out there, and I don't think that's the way to go about it.
I agree.
We want to put out the best product possible and have fun doing it. That's the goal. And if it keeps growing like it is, then great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If we maintain the same group of listeners we have now, I'll be happy with that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just a matter of we just want to have fun with it and we want to put out shit we're passionate about.
Right. We want our episodes to continue to get better in quality.
Right.
And we both work full time. I know we've said it a million times, but we just need more time to truly do that the correct way.
So we will still obviously be putting out one Patreon episode a month.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then we're going to try to do at least 1 to 2 more on top of that free episodes for the Free Lotus.
At least one free a month, at least.
Yeah.
And one Patreon a month.
But it ultimately comes down to us picking shit. If we find episodes we're passionate about and we're able to do that really frequently and get great books, we'll do them we'll do them every week if it comes down to that. But we're not going to put in an episode that just because we feel like we have to anymore.
Yeah.
Every week,
Yeah. It makes the grind that much harder. It makes it that more difficult.
And there's really great, successful podcasts that don't put out episodes every single week. Obviously there's the True Crime Garages that they put out episodes every week, no matter what, but that's their job. Right. That is their job at this point. They're so successful that is their job. Right. And then there's Sword and Scale, who they put out an episode when it's done, when they have,
Right.
So, I mean, that's kind of that's the goal.
Right.
Is to just.
And if we're blessed one day to do this as a job, full time, then that's different. That's a total game changer. Yeah. Total game changer. But yeah, to put out quality episodes and for our podcast to grow in quality and in information and in accuracy, I feel like we do need a little more time to work on these cases.
Check out patreon.com/True Crime Guys for a bunch of extra episodes on there. A bunch of big hitters. All the Jeffrey Dahmers and
Bundy,
John Wayne Gacy, Bundy. We just did Jim Jones. We're going to be recording. We're going to be recording interviews with listeners of the show, Patreon members.
Right.
We're doing that today.
Yep, we're going to.
Right after this, we're supposed to be talking to a listener.
Right.
Pretty Boy Ali.
That's right. Looking forward to it.
And so hopefully that conversation will go well, and we'll post some of the conversation on our Patreon page, along with a bunch of other bonus stuff that we have up there, bonus recordings and funny stuff and whatever. Right. Silly shit. So yeah, go check out patreon.com for $2 a month. You get all these episodes.
Yep.
You can't get a better bargain.
And if you're caught up on all the free ones,
it might be an option. What can we tell you?
Be an option. Get 9 more right off the bat, right there.
Yep. All right, guys. See you next time. Keep creeping.
Keep creeping. Nailed it.